Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. Watch. Aryna Sabalenka shares with heartfelt moment with boyfriend Georgios Frangulis after retaining US Open title. Aryna Sabalenka, the world #1 player from Belarus, retained the US Open women's singles title after defeating American Amanda Anisimova with the 6-3, 7-6, 7-3 scoreline at the Arthur Ashe Stadium in New York City on Saturday, September 6th. The 27-year-old claimed her fourth Grand Slam title in a tough battle, and shortly after, she celebrated the crowning achievement by heading up to the grandstand, sharing a heartfelt moment with her boyfriend Georgios Frangulis. She embraced and kissed the Brazilian entrepreneur, who was cheering her on alongside her team from the grandstands at the Arthur Ashe Stadium during a pulsating contest against Amanda Anisimova. It is understood that Georgios Frangulis is the founder of the global superfood brand called Oatberry, and his relationship with Aryna Sabalenka was made public by the couple after they were pictured together for the first time in April 2024. This one felt different. It felt like I had to overcome a lot of things to get it. Aryna Sabalenka, with a successful US Open title defense, the Belarusian became the first woman after Serena Williams. Steiger with a successful US Open title defense, the Belarusian became the first woman after Serena Williams in 2014 to achieve back-to-back final victories at the fourth Grand Slam of the year. After the earlier, during the US Open trophy presentation at the Arthur Ashe Stadium, Aryna Sabalenka also praised her opponent Amanda Anisimova for reaching the final. She remarked, "Congrats to Amanda Enrique." Under the glittering lights of Arthur Ashe Stadium, history had just been written. Aryna Sabalenka stood center court, her chest rising and falling with exhaustion and exhilaration, the US Open trophy clutched tightly in her arms. The crowd roared, but for a moment, she didn't hear it. The noise faded into a hum, replaced by the rapid beat of her heart and the growing anticipation in her chest. She wasn't just a two-time US Open champion now. She was a woman who had fought every demon, every doubt, and every pressure to retain her crown. But what came next wasn't part of the script, not part of the post-match interviews or camera shots. Because then, he appeared, Georgios Frangulis. The cameras caught it all, but the story they couldn't quite tell was what that moment truly meant. Before the lights, to understand the embrace that lit up millions of screens, one had to rewind. Not to the final set, not even to the first match of the tournament, but further. To quiet mornings and long-distance phone calls, to stretches of loneliness during the tour, to moments of frustration when form dipped and critics whispered. Aryna had always been known for her power. On the court, her game was loud, fierce, a whirlwind of ferocity and emotion. But behind that strength, there was vulnerability, something only a few truly saw. Georgios, an entrepreneur with a calm demeanor and grounded energy, had become her anchor in ways no one else had managed. Their relationship had bloomed away from the public eye, in airport lounges and training sessions, in short vacations and long conversations. He didn't just celebrate her wins, he understood her losses. He didn't just stand beside the champion, he stood beside the woman. So when Aryna walked onto the court for her final at the 2025 US Open, she carried more than a racket and expectations. She carried every sacrifice she and Georgios had made to get here. The match, the final wasn't easy. It never is at the US Open. Her opponent, fierce and relentless, pushed her to the edge in the second set. There were moments when the match seemed to slip away, when Aryna's head dropped, her shots went wide, and the roar of the crowd became a blur of noise. But in those moments, something inside her burned brighter. Between points, she whispered things to herself. Words she had practiced. Reminders, not just of her training, but of the conversations with Georgios the night before. You don't have to be perfect. Just be brave. He had said that to her on the balcony of their hotel suite, the New York skyline glittering behind them. She had nodded then, silently. But now, under pressure, she repeated it aloud. Brave, not perfect. And brave she was. She clawed back, breaking serve with clenched fists and primal screams. Her final ace sealed the win. She dropped to her knees. Victory. Again. The moment, as the stadium lights danced and photographers clicked furiously, Aryna scanned the crowd. Her team cheered from the box. Coaches, physios, her agent, each of them part of her journey. But her eyes searched for only one face. And then there he was, making his way past security, wearing that familiar black tee and a look of awe. His eyes never left hers. She ran. There was no pause for interviews, no stage celebration. Aryna vaulted the short barrier, trophy still in hand, and wrapped herself around Georgios. He held her tightly, lifting her slightly off the ground. She buried her face into his shoulder. The cameras caught it all, the way his hands cradled her head, the whispered words they exchanged. What they said in that moment, that belonged to them. But the look on Aryna's face said more than any quote ever could. Here was a champion, not just in tennis, but in life. Here was a woman who had reached the summit, not alone, but supported by love, patience, and partnership. Beyond the court, later, in the press room, a reporter asked her about the moment. "You looked emotional with Georgios right after the win. Can you tell us what that meant to you?" Aryna smiled, the kind of smile that softens even the fiercest competitor. "It meant everything," she said. "Tennis is what I do, but it's not who I am. He reminds me of that. When I win, he's proud. When I lose, he's still proud. He helps me remember that I'm more than results. That love doesn't come with trophies." There was a pause, a silence of respect. "I think," she continued, "this title feels even more special because I got to share it with someone who sees all of me." Social media erupts. The clip of the embrace went viral within hours. Not just on sports pages, but everywhere. TikTok edits, Instagram reels, YouTube shorts. The moment transcended tennis. Fans commented in droves. "This is what real love looks like." Power couple goals. "She's a queen on court and in life." Others reflected more deeply. "You can feel how much they've been through." That hug wasn't just celebration. It was release. In a world often starved of sincerity, the unscripted authenticity of their connection struck a chord. A love that grounds. Georgios Frangulis was no stranger to success. Founder of a thriving business, he understood pressure and performance. But with Aryna, he was never the coach, never the strategist, just the supporter. He often said, "I don't need her to win. I need her to be okay." And that philosophy became the foundation of their bond. Aryna, who had once been overwhelmed by the relentless grind of the tour, now found moments of stillness. With him, she could let go of the competitor and just be Aryna. Their love wasn't flashy. No tabloid headlines, no grand declarations. Just quiet constancy, fierce support, and shared dreams. Full circle. Back at their hotel, long after the crowd had dispersed and the interviews were done, Aryna and Georgios sat on the floor, shoes off, room service between them, laughter echoing off the walls. The trophy sat on the table nearby, almost forgotten. "I can't believe you jumped into my arms with that thing," he teased. "I was hoping you'd catch me." She grinned. "I always will." Simple words. Profound promise. Epilogue. More than a champion. In the years to come, Aryna Sabalenka's name will be etched in record books. Her victories will be replayed, her stats analyzed. But for many, the most powerful image of her career won't be the winning shot or the raised trophy. It will be the moment she ran, not toward the cameras, not toward the podium, but into the arms of the man who stood with her through it all. Because sometimes, the most extraordinary moments are not about the glory we chase, but the love we return to. And in that moment, Aryna Sabalenka reminded the world of something timeless. Greatness is not just measured in titles, but in the hearts we hold close.